This is the Ryder and Lisa replay.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai. Check out the Southtown Hyundai Advantage at southtownhyundai.ca.
It's time for Overrated, Underrated with Ryder and Lisa.
Underrated, coming home to an excited dog. My favorite part is when I'll leave again and wait 20 seconds and then come back and the dog is equally as excited to see me
Just
again.
almost dislocating his hip.
Oh, there's nothing better. How can you go on with life without a dog in your house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are moments that are like, ugh. Like last night I had to let him out and it was only about 45 minutes before I actually had to get up. And I'm like, why are you doing this? You couldn't have waited 45 minutes? You know my schedule? But then you get the moments with them and they're just the best.
Oh, the best.
All right, I'll agree with that. Underrated, getting home to an excited dog. That's a good one. I'm going to go underrated as well today with a clean kitchen when you start cooking, especially if somebody else cleans it. But even if you clean it yourself, just before you get going, before you pull the pans out, everything cleared, everything wiped. Even your veggies placed out nice that you're about to cut. I don't know.
This is not relatable to me.
There is something about, you don't really cook or clean the kitchen. So
I'm burning down the patriarchy.
Okay.
Get off my back about
You're
it.
killing it.
I know I am. Everyone's like, are you a good cook? I'm like, I don't know how to use a stove.
Come on, you're not that bad. Sorry if I put too much emphasis on that. But anyway.
No, I love it.
There is something about a clean kitchen, especially when it's spotless. I love messing it up and then you got to clean it again. But whatever. It's a pretty good feeling.
Tips wrote in saying cats are better. They're smarter, cleaner, less maintenance. Yeah, but they're not excited when you get home. They're like, oh, you're back?
Thanks for coming again.
We have a public apology to make.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I didn't say anything
You
wrong.
contributed to the conversation and you know it.
I was just agreeing with you because if I don't, you get really grumpy sometimes, especially this early in the morning. So I was just nodding my head.
Ryder, when have you ever talked about liking cats?
Batitude and DJW Cat, my two cats that I owned in Bonnyville, loved them until Eddie the Recluse moved in and got everybody pregnant.
Okay. Anyway, we said earlier that getting home to a excited dog is the best feeling ever, and we left out the cat people.
Mm-hmm. So you went out of your way to say stupid cats don't do that.
I did not say stupid. Cats are brilliant. They have 9 lives. They're smarter than all of us.
Oh, look at this backtracking. Love it.
I've literally never landed on my feet. But I did want to say sorry because there's so many cat owners that listen to our show and they're like, my cat gets so excited when I get home. Tip says my cat meows and jumps into my arms as soon as I get home. Nikki wrote in saying, what? My cats are so excited when we get home. They wait at the door and usually have a little gift for us. And then Aslam said, my cat goes crazy as soon as I pull into the driveway. He's right at the door and sounds like he's giving me the updates for the whole day when he sees me. Then my baby talk begins. Okay, that's so cute.
No.
I'm allowed to say it too.
I am the people of the cat on the show now.
No.
Yeah. I love all animals equally. So thank you for all the patronage. And thank you for preferring me out of the both of us on the show.
Listen. I'm really allergic to them. My face blows up when I try and pet them. I'm kind of scared of them. They don't trust me. I don't trust them. They always attack my legs out of anyone at a party. I'm their victim.
They think it's another cat because they're so furry.
Okay, that's so rude. I can't afford razors, and you know that, so don't bring it up.
Get out of here.
Got you good. Anyway, shout out to all the cool cats and kittens.
Hello, and thank you for checking out the show. You've probably heard of strip poker. Not sure if you've played it or not. You ever played it?
No, because I don't know how to play poker.
Yeah, those are my favorite people to play strip poker with. You can be like, no, my pair of threes totally beats your full house. But there's apparently gaining popularity in other strip games.
Bowling.
No, not at like public places.
Oh, okay. Well, you obviously haven't hung out with my friends.
Okay.
Those pitchers of beer, they go down quite quickly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just kidding. Okay, what?
And I'm not even talking about like athletic games. Like nobody would play strip volleyball, I don't think. That would get weird when you go up for a block.
Strip Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, yeah, like you're now getting a little bit closer. Like strip Monopoly gaining popularity, and I don't know what the rules would be there.
No, because when you play Monopoly, it's like a 4-hour game. It's exhausting. I hate it.
So everybody would just be straight buck wild
you'd
naked.
be naked, and then you'd have to sit there for the next 3 hours.
Catch a cold. What were some of the other ones I saw? Strip Sorry.
Okay, I tried to play Sorry again as an adult. Mm-hmm. So boring now.
Super boring.
I just want to keep hitting the button, though. I just want to keep, like, popping the dice.
Same with Candyland. Game sucks.
I know.
But if you were to play with adults and you played the strip version, it might be fun. Strip Clue is another one. So you'd be like, Dr. or Colonel Mustard killed her in the library with his large cane. Would be like an example of how you'd play that game.
But when do you strip?
I don't know. I think like every wrong guess, you probably like.
Oh, okay.
You'd have to like whip some rules up to make sure again everybody didn't just get naked right away.
What if you played strip darts? Is that too dangerous?
Yeah, again, I think you're going too far, like too extreme with the danger. You want to keep those things as far away from darts as possible. If you have any other suggestions you'd like to throw our way for possible games that you could play involving stripping, hit us up, and then we'll play one of them a little later on the
No, we won't. Matt wrote in saying, what about rock, paper, scissors? That could get interesting.
Too quick. I think it would be like the game would be over. You need games that like it takes at least a few minutes in order for a piece of clothing to go.
I want to know what Corey visualizes with strip hot dog eating contests. Like, are you taking breaks between bites to take off clothing? What is that?
Maybe like once you get a hot dog down, they have to ditch a piece of clothing.
Des says, what about strip trouble? Who remembers that game? That was the best commercial. What are you kids up to? We're getting into trouble.
You could even play it so that like when you hit the button and it flips the dice, whatever the number is on there, that's how many pieces of clothing. Again, might be going too quick though. 780-784-7107. What do you think?
Cribbage, you know.
Ooh, strip
I
it.
play with old people because I'm an old person at heart.
Wait, would you want to play strip cribbage with old people?
Probably not.
I mean, at least it'd be the hot one if I had to get naked.
Yeah, some hot grandpas for sure.
Walking out of there feeling real confident.
Oh my God.
Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. 780-784-7107. What do you got?
The battleship, but you could call it battle strip.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And that's actually a fun game, so I fully support this.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you sank a battleship, you'd take a piece of clothing off or something, I don't know.
You'd be like, whoa, you got my battleship going down and so are my pants.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I like it. Thanks for the suggestion.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
And one more. What do you think?
Twister.
Ooh, good one.
This is the most perverted answer, and I respect that.
Right? It all depends on who you're playing with, too, how much clothes you want to wear.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's true. You and your buddies are getting together for some beers. You're like, I think I'm out.
Play 107.
Local story today. Hope Mission is planning to officially open a new center in October, a newly built men's shelter in downtown Edmonton. So they've rebuilt the Herb Jameson Center after it was demolished last year. And they're really excited about this because it offers several new features, including wheelchair access, open concept spaces, expanded sleeping areas, a new medical wing, and washrooms with enhanced safety features. The center's team of nurses will also operate out of this new facility. That's awesome. 400 beds.
Yeah, that's incredible news.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me something good.
Love hearing that. All right, my story is about Netherlands, who are pretty well known for just coming up with unique innovations. And they've done so again creating the world's largest 3D printed bridge.
What?
It's 95 feet across a canal, and it's working really well.
Okay.
But I think it's a walking bridge from the pictures. It doesn't say anywhere in this article if it's a driving bridge or walking. I think it's walking. I wouldn't trust it just yet. Like, anybody that trusted the first bridge, that's a courageous person, right? If they're like, I'm pretty sure this is going to get us across this huge waterfall.
I still don't understand the science behind bridges and how they stay up. Like, I genuinely, every time I see a bridge, I'm like, how'd they do that?
Yeah. That's a really good point.
So fascinating.
But this one especially. So I bet it's 50% less material to create as it normally would be because it is 3D printed. Anyway, it looks pretty awesome and seems to be effective so far. So could be something we see more and more down the road.
Tell me something good.
Play 107.
Oh, what do you know? You had a book club gathering and you didn't discuss your book again.
We did talk about the book for about 5 minutes, but here's the thing. Only 3 of us read it. Everyone else was just there to get out of their house and avoid their family.
I love this like almost anti-book club you have going on.
No, we actually do.
Yeah.
We do have a book each month, and I'm very excited to announce our October book. It's going to be more of a spooky read, which is always fun. But yeah, no, we were sitting around last night. We hung out at Borden Park. Luckily, the weather is still gorgeous, so we can do outdoor hangs. And I don't know how we even got into this conversation, but somebody brought up where they see a lot of attractive people.
Okay.
And
that's not what the book was about, just to clarify.
No. We had moved on.
Right.
So she said every time she goes to the Bonnie Doon Safeway around 6:30 p.m. on weeknights, so many attractive men, and they always talk to her.
Really? I wonder what that's about.
I don't know if there's just a lot of bachelors that live in that area.
Yeah, is there like there a fire hall nearby and that's like 20 minutes after shift change? Or there's got to be something going on there.
It's funny that you say that because when I lived on White Ave, I would always go to the Save-On just off of it, and that's where all the firefighters get their groceries together. Like they pull up in their fire truck. They must get a discount or something, but it was the best.
So you just walked around pretending like you were shopping for hours.
Well,
like that girl's been here. That girl's been here since open.
So I just thought that was really interesting that she noticed that the Bonnie Doon specific Safeway around 6:30 p.m. she always gets approached. And then another woman at my book club, Erin, said, "Oh, you think that's good? Try going to a Winners in the jeans section."
Really?
She says it has to be the best ones are the hybrid of the Winner/Home Sense and specifically the Terwilliger location. All the other women at book club are like pulling out their phones and writing down the addresses. They're like, okay. And I was laughing because I was like, we're all going to see each other there. Right. We're all going to be, we're all going to be in the jeans section at Winners. Hey!
And now there's going to be anybody listening that's like, where can I go to find a lot of ladies? Are going to be out in the parking lot there firing up Tinder in hopes that they have a like within 1 kilometer match from in the store. Hilarious.
I'm going to be at the Bonnie Doon Safeway in the frozen food section. I'm going to run into several ladies. I'm going to be like, have you started the book? They're going to be like, no, I haven't even opened it.
You should have your next book club there.
That's literally what we said.
Play 107.
We got a funny text. Was it from Jay? That said the Sherwood Park Costco?
No, it was it was Jason, but maybe he goes by Jay for short. I don't know. But yeah, Costco, Sherwood Park, lots of very attractive moms. But then Jason goes on to say, even go to Banff. Banff is like the capital of Lululemon pants.
All right.
Like, okay.
He's done his research. This text makes a lot of sense. Join an Edmonton Sport and Social Club team.
Yes, I've heard that that's what a lot of people do when they're new to the city and don't know anyone. It's a great way to meet people that are very supportive. They're all about like the team mentality, high fives, which I don't know if people are doing with COVID, but the elbows, I guess.
Well, and if you end up in the mixed sport one, like nobody's who's too serious about sports is gonna join a mixed sport league, or they're less likely to, right? Like your hardcore soccer players are going to just join a soccer team.
Okay.
Whereas with the mixed sports, it's like dodgeball and soccer and volleyball. And like, you just have to be kind of a well-rounded person to enjoy
And not
sports that
too-
you're not even good at, maybe.
And you're saying not too competitive.
Yeah. So like, if you're not a pro athlete,
Ryder, didn't you join a mixed sports team and that's how you blew your knee, was taking dodgeball too seriously?
yes, that's exactly it.
Okay, hypocrite. Where else are you seeing very attractive people out there?
Thanks, Lise.
No problem.
I think the best place to go, which I tell my single friends, is the driving range. There's
Good answer.
always men there, and you can see what their swing looks like if they're a brutal golfer or not.
And if they're good, they can give you some tips if you need them, or you can show them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and the sway in the hips you see when they're swinging the golf club too, right?
It's all in the head. Yeah, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. Get off of me. Hey, just easing the tension, baby.
National Coffee Day. We wanted to ask, because like coffee's the OG for waking up, obviously, when you're really tired.
What a weird thing to discover. You're just going to take these beans.
Hot bean water, yeah.
I'm going to put it in hot water.
But what else works well to wake you up when you're very tired? Hit us up at 780-784-7107.
Kasia wrote in saying, I'm not a coffee drinker, Red Bull, pop, or juice drinker. They just don't sit well in my stomach. So I don't need much caffeine to get me going, but I will always take half a scoop of my fat burner or my pre-workout. That is so funny. Because I've heard of people that will do that before they go out on the town, like to party.
They'll take a pre-workout?
Yeah. One time I took pre-workout before going to the gym and then I was stuck in traffic, and I'm not kidding. Once it hits your system, you need to lift things. I got out of the car and I picked up the car. I picked up the vehicle.
I hate when it feels like there's little pins and needles on your face and like your head from pre-workout.
Dude, I was like running down the Meridian holding a Civic on my head. I'm just kidding. But it felt like I could do it.
780-784-7107. What's yours?
I go to the gym. Actually, I was tired yesterday on Monday. I couldn't sleep that night, and I thought, you know what, I'll go to the gym in the morning here real quick. I'll get a quick hour in, and then boom, my energy came right up.
Nobody calls it a quick hour at the gym. Maybe a quick half an hour. That's a long hour.
Tara just texted in saying, coffee legit makes me tired. It does the complete opposite of what it's supposed to do. That's really interesting to me. Can your body become immune to the caffeine?
I've actually heard that is what happens. So when caffeine hits you on like your regular dosage that you'd normally drink, that just brings you back to like normal, what you would be if you never started drinking coffee.
I love the memes where it's like a skeleton sitting and it says, me after 6 cups of coffee, I'm still tired, but now I'm also anxious.
Yeah, that's pretty valid.
My trainer at the gym always says being tired is a state of mind. Mm-hmm. So just tell yourself I'm not tired right now.
Oof.
You just have to tell yourself that.
Yeah, I was going
tired.
to say, like, some mornings it seems like what works to wake you up is complaining about how tired you are, and then eventually it stops. So it must work, right?
Okay.
Mine is because I've mentioned this before on the show. I'm terrible with falling asleep. Like I would almost say, okay, I'm torn between two words, and one is inappropriate, and the other one is when you fall asleep on command. What?
Oh, yes, I always screw these two words up too.
Narco.
You're, I don't want to say...
Attracted to dead people, or not that one?
What's the other one called?
Narcolepsy, I think.
Are we wrong? We are so dumb.
Anyway...
What's the word?
I'm like borderline that, I think, because I can just fall asleep at the drop of a hat. So what works for me when I'm really tired is I yell at myself about how it's time to wake up.
Narcoleptic is correct, thankfully. We would have had to have another meeting with the boss.
Dodged a bullet there. But yeah, try that. Yell at yourself. And it seems to fire up the adrenaline. What have you learned how to do from YouTube? It is pretty wild how much information is out there if you go looking for it. Like, I had a buddy who said this about 5 years ago. He said the excuse of I don't know how should no longer exist because you can figure out how to do anything online.
There's some TikTok accounts of dads who go out of their way to show people who maybe didn't have a proper family growing up, didn't have that figure in their life to help teach them certain things that this dad could offer you. So he's like the internet's dad. And he has YouTube videos where he shows you how to do little things around the house. Like even something as simple as filling in a hole in your drywall. And I just think that kind of content is so wholesome and so important and so needed. And you're right. You can literally YouTube how to do pretty much anything. Like I remember using YouTube to remind myself how to properly boil an egg to make it perfect,
Right?
Which is pathetic. But it's out there for a reason, and it's got millions of views for a reason.
Exactly. And if you don't know how previously, like, what a great way to figure it out.
Yeah.
Who cares if you weren't taught? Go learn. Like, so anyway, I've been talking with a good friend of mine who is flipping houses. And I was like, so you just like get a house, you move into, you renovate one of the rooms, you move into that room, and then you renovate the entire house by yourself? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, how did you learn how to do this? Like, I'm pretty sure he's got his business degree. And he's like, YouTube. Everything? Yes, everything he learns how to do, from flooring to plumbing to, he just learns it on YouTube.
Yeah, trial and error.
Isn't that insane?
Every house is going to get better that he flips.
Yeah, he says it takes him a long time right now, but he knows that it won't within a few flips. Pretty interesting stuff.
Nicole's text is so wholesome. She says, I learned how to care for my ducks. At the beginning of spring, I decided to get a couple ducklings, which honestly, I didn't have a clue about how to take care of them. YouTube was my go-to for everything. They are now happy and healthy 6-month-old ducks. My female lays eggs, and they are great to have as pets.
Oh, I thought you were going to say for breakfast. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
So much better and more wholesome. Is she able to get them in a row?
Yeah, that's true. Can you train them, or do they just know? Is that like an instinct thing? I think it is. This first-time texter, no name yet, wrote in saying, the best thing I learned today was best updo for greasy hair. I ran out of dry shampoo.
That's good. Casey says folding the stupid fitted sheets. You can learn how to do anything. Like even work. Shane said, I did iron work for years, got tired of being out of town and away from my family, was at a loss for what to do, saw lots of ads looking for painters, went on YouTube, watched an hour of videos, and applied for a painting job with 10 years experience. Showed up, passed the smell test, no one ever questioned my experience. Amazing.
There's a smell test to be a painter?
I guess.
Okay, well, now I need to watch YouTube videos on what that's all about.
I taught myself how to crochet.
Really? I definitely thought there needed to be a grandma involved to make that happen.
Is it cool again?
It is. I hope so.
Now that you know how to crochet, do you make a profit off of what you create?
Not with my crochet. With my other granny habit, I do.
What's
but when
that?
I crochet, I do that for gifts.
Okay. What's your other granny habit?
I cross stitch.
Amazing. Please tell us that you eat Werther's while you're doing it.
No, but I drink tea.
Play 107.
Tomorrow marks the first National Day of Truth and Reconciliation. It is closely associated with Orange Shirt Day, which has been going for a while. And nice to see that our country is recognizing this very powerful and important day.
Yeah, so we're encouraging you to wear an orange shirt tomorrow, but more importantly, supporting Indigenous peoples and those who are creating the shirts. So, for example, like you and me, we picked up our shirts through Turtle Island, Edmonton, which is an organization that supports businesses and other organizations to become safer spaces for Indigenous youth. So if anybody wants the email address to inquire about shirts, they're $20 each. The proceeds will go to them as well as the Girls and Boys Club of Saddle Lake and the Orange Shirt Society.
Rather than scrambling for an orange shirt and maybe, throwing on or buying one that is just a money grab or an attention grab for a company, instead, tomorrow, if you can't find an orange shirt that is sourced from an Indigenous company or one that's supporting, and donating the money made from them to charities that help Indigenous communities, maybe think about tomorrow just buying one from the right place so that next year you can wear one and you're supporting the right cause in this situation.
Yeah.
And a very important day in our country.
No, absolutely. And we have some other sources of where you can pick up those orange shirts and that money is going to the right places. So hit us up if you want more information on that.
Posted something on our Facebook page this morning about like a girl watching Casper and just remembering the first time she watched Casper and when Devon Sawa came on the screen for the first time.
Sawa, get it right.
Whatever. When he came on the screen for the first time, how she like fell in love. That's what the video's about.
Yeah.
Do you remember a moment like that where you were like, oh?
Well, the reason I posted that video on Play 107 is because I had that exact same feeling with Devon Sawa in Casper.
Sawa, I believe.
He was also in Now and Then, so like the butterflies.
Crush, eh?
Oh, so good. I also felt that way with Jim Carrey in Ace Ventura.
What?
And Seth Green in Austin Powers.
Terrible choices.
Where he plays Scott, Dr. Evil's son. Who else? Oh, I also really liked him in Can't Hardly Wait. I don't know why. I just had this thing for Seth Green in the 90s. I know, super weird. Who else did I have a crush on? What about you? Who is your first, like, oh, I'm feeling something?
Yeah, I remember, like, Paula Abdul.
Yeah.
Was a big one. And I put a poster of her, like, I hid it behind my clothes in my closet so that when I could get dressed in the morning, I could just, like, part my clothes and have a look at her. And my brothers wouldn't find out. Because if I would have hung a Paula Abdul poster, like, in my room, I would have never heard the end of it.
At my book club last night, one of the women there said the moment she realized she was gay was when she was watching Tila Tequila. And it was one of the women that were on the dating show to try and date Tila Tequila.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, wow.
There's those feelings.
But there's always that one moment, right? Like and then you specifically remember it and being like, why do I feel this way?
Shane says Topanga did it for me.
Sounds like a popular answer, yes.
Dave says Samantha Fox back in the day.
I love Tara's text. She's like, I used to use Paul Walker as a beard to throw my friends off from thinking I was gay back in the day. Paul Walker is a very convincing beard, Tara.
Is beard a normal used term?
Yeah, it is. It's like when you're like pretending to be into somebody.
I've never knew that.
You're using someone as your beard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This text says Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and I get that.
Yeah.
Especially his character in Home Improvement.
The Lion King.
No, Home Improvement. He was so likable.
Hey, Mom, when are we going to eat? I'm starving.
Your dad and Uncle Marty are bringing home a pizza. They should be back any minute.
You know, ever since you went back to school, you've hardly cooked anything.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been really hectic.
Hey, I wasn't complaining.
I love that quote.
Oh, that is so good. The writers were incredible on that show. I almost need to rewatch some Home Improvement.
A lot of people say that I look like Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, now though.
Yeah, like after he let himself go. Yeah.
No.
Ryder and Lisa.
Brought to you by Southtown Hyundai.
Play 107.